All right. So, we always have some stragglers that jump on here. And see, what did I just said that. Okay. Ksenia, good evening. I love your forehead and finger there. That is great. Ah, there she is.
You know what I like about these Zooms? I love the watching the people.
I, you know, it. I remember in the old days when we used to have, like hotel meetings and home meetings and all that.
Uh-huh.
And the only drawback to all of that was that we had to get up and get ready, and if it was typically back then I was working, so it was after work, and but I did I I did enjoy getting out and meeting all the people and seeing their faces and everything. So I
Yeah.
love the fact that we got Zoom now, where we can do the same thing. And but I still contend we need those, like the Jetsons, like Jane Jetson. We need the little, thing we can hold up in front of our face. So if our hair's not right, or our makeup, or my glasses, or there, see,
Well, I
Cassandra,
got
she's
a
got a
question.
great picture.
Do you ever get distracted by so many people doing different things while they're listening to you talking?
Do I get distracted?
Yeah.
No, no, I have grandkids. I got puppies. And the funny thing today is that the puppy's getting mature.
Uh-huh.
He's not biting as much. The kids were outside today, playing with him in the water, in the hose, and just having a. I don't know if you saw a couple of posts I put up there of him out there, and he wasn't biting Thomas or anything. He was just he's getting better. Now he still bites every once in a while. I mean,
Yeah. He's a
I'm
puppy.
still healing, but we're feeding him now like 3 heaping cups of food
Wow.
3 times a day.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he just always seems hungry. He's certainly, the vet said he well, he looks great. He's not certainly not overweight at all. He looks like a gangly teenager,
Mhm.
and his dad is just turned 2 and is
Wow.
still eating, 6 to 7 cups a day.
Huh.
So, and he's not, he's still growing, and he's a big boy. So he,
Fingers crossed. Hopefully by next month I might be breeding my two Scottish collies.
oh,
So by September I should have September, October, somewhere around there I should have puppies.
yeah, that'll bring in some good money.
Yeah. I just keep dreaming of hurricanes and puppies at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why. Well, by the time she does have her puppies, we will be in the middle of a very it's when we're pretty active.
Hurricane season. Yep.
Yeah, I mean we're in hurricane season now, but from August to October is when it's really
Yeah.
active, and that's about the time, around September October is when she could have her puppies.
Well, Laura, that's a good segue because, um, what is it? The puppy is hungry. You're right, Jason. The puppy is hungry. Um, it's hurricane season right now in our business, and I just came off a meeting with Troy Barrett's team, and he's got a couple of people that are just this far from 5K affiliates. We're touching. We're
I
just
wish I was just, I wish I was this close to 1K, and I'm not even nowhere near it. And it's really, I mean, it's very, for me, it's been very frustrating and aggravating. And I've even cried the past couple of days because it's so frustrating. I've talked to people, and I've gotten either, oh, I just don't have the money right now, which I can understand that. I really do sympathize with that part,
yep.
but, or it's, I'm just not too sure about it. I do have a relative that has bought, you know, did the sample packs months ago, But then she bought, the thing of the relief. And, I've asked her how it's working for her, and haven't really gotten a lot of, she hasn't really said anything. But she contacted me and she asked me if the company does gummy bears. And I said, no. Well, we're just going to go ahead. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and we're going to order some gummy bears. Guys need to do gummy bears because they're, they're a lot, better, or whatever. And I'm just like,
They're a lot better than what?
than taking the the way we do it. And I told her, I said, it's just put in the gummy bear. It's just put it in the gummy part.
Can I say something? Laura, can I say something real quick? Sure. I did a live yesterday, and after I finished, I realized that I forgot to include some of the information that I had learned. One of the things I learned was this. I had gone to a bunch of marijuana shops and CBD shops in Colorado and asked a bunch of questions. You can go back and see my live that I did yesterday. But one of the things I forgot to include in my live was I asked about the difference between taking the oil straight from the bottle and the gummy bears or any of the edibles. And all of them told me the same thing, that when you take the drops, you get the immediate effects of the drops, okay? And you can control how much you take, and you know how long it's going to take for it to wear off. But when you take something that's in an edible or a gummy bear, it takes about 4 or 5 hours for it to hit you, and you don't know how much is in there, and it could be way more than you need, okay? Yeah. So when somebody asks you about, well, how about the gummy bears, that would be my response to them, is that if you're taking the oil, you can control how many drops you're taking, and it's immediate, okay? The gummy bears, it takes a while, or any edible for that matter, takes a while for it to kick in, and then it lasts a really long time. And so if you're taking it at night or whatever because you want to sleep, you may not be able to get up the next morning because you just don't know how that gummy, how much is in there or how it's going to affect you.
Right. Okay. Cool. All right.
The other thing with the gummies and the edibles and all that, there's a whole different processing that they have to do. And anytime you put stuff, the good news with our oils is the oil goes, under your tongue and it goes right into your system. With the gummy bears and the edibles and things like that, they go in and they've got to contend with your stomach acids.
Right.
And that just, it deteriorates it degrades it, and all kinds of different things, plus the processing to get it there. So we did have gummy bears. When I first came on board, they had some, I don't know if they were gummy bears or what, they were something like that for a little while. Right. But I think it was on the spray side, though. But they just found that it loses too much of its potency when you do that. They're designed for people to feel good about eating them.
Well, get this, Ron. Jessie has actually started taking the 500. She takes it in the morning. I'm not sure how many drops she takes in the morning, but she also takes it at night. But what she has to do, because you gotta be in the mind of an ADHD autistic spectrum person. She has to drink. She has a what is it called? Oversensory, basically things that taste, texture. It really, but she's doing it, and that's what I'm proud of. She's actually doing it. But she takes drinks the fruit, the blueberry pomegranate fruit drink after, because I think it takes the peppermint taste down a little bit. But Bill and I, we've noticed changes. She's not as confrontational. She's not as moody as an ADHD or an autistic spectrum, adult would or person would be. But the best part of it all, she is actually sleeping much, much better. Much better.
So for her, it's worth it to go through the process of the blueberry.
Yeah, she still deals with some depression. She still has her moments. And the fact that having a job that she loves, I mean, being in a library for 4 or 5 hours, that's like being a kid in a candy store. But she's much happier. I mean, and she's actually getting up in the morning. Takes her a little bit to actually get out of the bed and get rolling, but she's doing much better. She was doing the THC free, but she actually said it wasn't really helping her at all. So she's actually taken the actual full spectrum. So she is doing better. She is. She says some things she's not seeing a lot different. So we kind of have to respect that
you are.
Yeah, I mean, we do see it because we're around her.
For those of you who don't know, Jessie is their daughter.
Yeah, she's 29 years old.
Oh, she's my age. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, and it's weird too because she is around the same age as Josh and Jenna. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
and it's just interesting. You have Josh and Jenna so financially successful, and then you got Jessie who's barely working part time but she's happy right now.
Well, this is, thanks, Laura, for sharing that. These stories are what really drive our business. And Sue was on the Zoom I just did I guess it was a couple hours ago now. Seems like it was just a minute ago, but for Troy's team. And I want to give you guys the super duper secret special magic easy button tonight. Okay, everybody's pulling out their paper. You're gonna be amazed, man. This is gonna change everything. Just do it. I want to get this clip. There's a gentleman by the name of Art Williams. Anybody here heard of Art Williams? Okay. Bobby has. Yeah. Art Williams is a billionaire. Art Williams started a company called A.L. Williams. It's now Primerica Financial Services. But Art Williams was the man that started he canned the phrase and the method of buy term insurance and invest the rest. And his family had been devastated by whole life insurance and these policies where you can borrow from the principals and then you end up having to pay it all back and all this other stuff like that. So he was an innovator, a rogue insurance guy that went out and created a product where it was low cost term insurance for a long time, 20 years, 25 years. And then the money that you save because you weren't paying the high premiums on whole life, he would show you how to take that difference. So say a whole life policy was $100 a month, a term policy was $25 a month. You would take that $75 and invest it in the stock market and mutual funds and everything, and so forth. So it was invest in term, buy term and invest the rest. And he became very, very successful, and he was a high school coach. And he did and I forget what it was at. It was at a Baptist conference or something, I think, a Christian conference one evening, a dinner and that. And he was one of the speakers. And he got up there and he was talking away. He's got a thick Southern accent. And he was talking about how, you've got to have success and people are going to come at you and they're going to tell you all kinds of things and you're going to have all kinds of excuses. And here's what I'm going to tell you. Just do it. And you're going to say, but Art, but I'm a single mom with 2 kids. Just do it. Just do it. And he kept going through all of these different scenarios. But people don't like insurance. Just do it. And I've got that. In fact, I've got it on the Daring Dream Team YouTube channel. But go watch that. So here's the secret sauce. The secret sauce, and this is what I want you to understand. And Sue's going to go, oh, no, not again. the secret sauce is just really simple. I'm going to tell you how I got to 24,000 my first full month in the business. Okay? Massive, massive action. Because here's what everybody makes the mistake, right? And I know Troy will say the same thing. I don't even care if the action's wrong. You know, it doesn't even matter if you're not doing exactly the right thing. Because here's what happens. There are people out there that get involved with the business. And I'm going to pick a little bit on Laura tonight, but because Laura and I have been friends for a long time. So you find someone that's interested in the product, right? Or maybe the business. And what typically happens, and I can say this because I'm guilty and been guilty of this, you know, in my career and in my early days especially, everything seemed to stop. I'd be going along, I'd be reaching out, I'd be, you know, back then I'd be giving out flyers and I'd be going and purposely going out and driving around and getting gas 25 times a day, go to a gas station. You know, some of you don't remember this, but, you know, maybe you guys remember this, but in the old days, we used to just think of ways to go out and drive around and meet people. So I'd go and get $2 gas. And I'd talk to somebody. Then I'd go to the next gas station. I'd get $2 a gas. So, you know, I'd go and talk to the next person. I was just out there doing, you know. And then all of a sudden, somebody would say, yeah, Ron, I'm interested. What do you got? Boom, everything stopped. And I focused totally on that person. Everything, all of my energy went into that person. I would call them up. I would follow up with them. It's like, oh, what's going on, man? I've got this guy. I've got this person. They're mine. I've got them, you know. And in the meantime, 40 different prospects, you know, walked by me and I didn't have the time of day for them because I had that one. I had that one. And then what happened? I didn't have that one. I see this all the time. I was talking to somebody today and they were saying, man, but, you know, I said, you need to talk to more people, but I've got this person on the line. I said, how's that work? Is that person, are they on the line? Have you ever been fishing? I love fishing. I used to do a lot of deep sea fishing. You know, you go out and you go fishing and that person gets that one big tuna on the line, right? And tunas are big time fighters, you know. And they're pulling it up and they're spending all that time and they get done pulling it in and, you know, everybody else on the boat, we'd go out, we'd just laugh because everybody else on the boat would be holding onto their poles, just loose and looking and watching that person that was pulling that one in there. Inevitably, somebody would hit and they'd lose it because they were so focused on this other person reeling in that one that they totally forgot what they were doing. And theirs would hit, it would set it, and by the time they finally got enough where they could start pulling it in, they'd lost it, and their chances of getting it were gone, right? So when I say take massive action, I mean take massive action. In June of last year, which was my first month in the business, my first full month in the business, I sat down and I get asked this all the time, what did you do? Because people kind of forget when we were back then, you know, we've got all these people now that are making 5K their first month and 10K and stuff, and they're all excited. I mean, well, Carlos just sent me a thing saying some superstar just signed up on our team. Okay, great. I don't know who that is right now, but back when we first got in, Carlos and I hit 10K in 17 days. And I closed my first month out at 24,000. So now all of a sudden I've got all these people coming back and saying, hey, we saw one of your videos and you hit rank really fast when you first started. What did you do? And I tell them the same thing. Well, let me tell you the secret. Don't tell anybody this. Don't tell anybody the secret. Here's the secret. Go to work. Go to work. I love, you know, and I'm going to pick on Troy a little bit today because I can't. He's nice and rested now, so I'm going to pick on him. But Troy and I had the same thing happen to us yesterday. I think was it yesterday or today? I think it was today. I don't remember. But we both got messages from people on our team that informed us that they were no longer moving forward with the company. And these were people that were out of the country, in another country. And I guarantee you, the reason behind it was because their country didn't, and they can all get the product, they just can't get all of the product, right? But when they saw that Nigeria had opened up with all of the products, they felt like, well, you know, we're not staying here. We're being left behind, and nobody cares about us, right? Well, you can do one of two things, and Troy and I talked about this, and he did an amazing live overlooking a parcel of land he's going to buy, and that was phenomenal. And here's the thing, you know what that is? That is a blip. That's what we call a blip in our business. Okay, it's one of those things when I talk about you need to make a decision to do your business despite. That's one of the despites. Talk to Sonia Lyons someday and find out how many of those blips she had in her business the first 2 years before she hit 5K. A ton of them. But one of the things that was a common thread, and her and I talked about this again in Nashville, is, and some of us, you know, talked about that on the stage, is you need to take massive action. You just need to take massive action. What happens between now? You've got 4.5 days, 5 days left, right? Depending on where you are in the country. But you've got 5 days left because today's not over. You got 5 days left in this month. Now, it doesn't matter to me whether your goal is you want to get 1K, you want to get 500. Maybe you want to get 500 so that next month you can get to 1K. Maybe you want to, you're close, like one of the ladies on Troy's team, Christina, she is at 3K right now, a little over 3K, and she's going to hit 5K. I know she is because I spun her up. She is going to, she wants this bad. She was almost at 5K last month. And here's what it takes. It takes that, just like I was talking about on my live today. Are you ready to pay the price? And it's a hard question to answer. Because depending on where you are, if you're in a situation where you're already struggling, paying a price can be that much harder, right? And I know how that is. Trust me, when I lost my job, I had a mid-6-figure job, and we lost it overnight. We had a big home we lost. I've really never told my story, but we lost a lot. We're driving cars that, you know, hardly had the wheels that would stay on them. I mean, I went from driving a Porsche, my wife driving a Cadillac, 4,000 square foot home in Hayden, Idaho, flying first class everywhere I went. 15, 20,000. My smallest bonus check at Christmas time, the smallest one I got was $25,000. That was the smallest bonus I got. And we lost that overnight. So I don't tell a lot of people my story, but I have been well off and I've been poor. And no matter what anybody tells you, being well off is in a lot better place. Okay? And it has nothing to do with loving money or anything like that. It has to do with money is the vehicle that we use to survive and to do what we need to do, whether it's what we need to do or what we want to do. So if you are willing to pay the price, if you're really, truly, honestly, in your heart, willing to pay the price, and I'm not going to tell you that it's easy or hard, because it has nothing to do with it. My kids say that all the time. They used to say that when they were kids. I tell them to do something, and they'd look at me and say, well, that's easy for you to say, Dad. And I'd always say, yeah, it is easy for me to say. Doesn't mean it's easy to do. I mean, it's just words. I can say it real easy, you know. But the question isn't whether it's easy or hard. The question is whether it's worth it, whether it should be done. And if the answer is it should be done, then the next question is the choice that you need to make is whether you're willing to pay the price, whether it's easy or hard. Some of it's going to be easy, but a lot of it's going to be hard. But are you willing to pay the price to get what you want? Because here's what I can tell you, on the other side of it, it is worth it. How many of you right now, at this point in time, if I told you, I'm going to start giving you an extra $3,000 a month, would be happy campers? Anybody want that? An extra $3,000? You can just raise your hand. Anybody want an extra $3,000? I see Ksenia, she's kind of chuckling like, of course, right? Who wouldn't want that? You know? So when people tell you, well, you know, it's all about money, you know, you guys, you know, that's all you think about is money. I always ask them, so what you're saying is if I offered you an extra $3,000 a month right now, I was going to give that to you, you wouldn't take it because it's all about money? Well, no, that'd be different. Why would that be different? It would change your life. For some of us, $1,000. I remember the first month I made $1,000 in this business. And I looked at my wife and I said, you know, all of our bills are paid. We just got an extra $1,000. What do you want to do? No, you know what the answer was. Let's go shopping. I don't know what that, you know, not my favorite thing in the world, but hey, you know, okay, let's go shopping. All right. So, you know, and it turned out after the shopping was done, it ended up looking, it has 4 legs and a tail. How did that happen? I don't know. That's what we ended up shopping for. So is it worth it? Absolutely. I mean, you look at, you know, Laura was talking about Josh and Jenna. Here they are in their 20s and early 30s, right? I think she's 29, he's 28. $1 million a month. Would any of you, can any of you even fathom that at this point? Most of us can. I can. I make really good money. I can't imagine $1 million a month. Robert Hollis, $60,000, $70,000 a month already. Can you imagine what you would do with $70,000 a month? Some of you, I know my wife's family lives in North Carolina, and her sister just was telling us about, there's a house for sale down the street from them. Just a small little house, would be like a summer house in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, $75,000. Can you imagine being able to just say, oh, okay, next month, that's, you know, with my bonuses, let's just buy that. Yeah, most of us can't. I can't. I can visualize it. I know I'm going to get to that point, you know, but the reality is that before you get to the $10,000 a month, you get to the $500 a month. And that's exciting. Because let me ask you, wouldn't an extra $500 a month right now help you? Right? So instead of us, you know, I love dreaming about what we could do with $1,000, $10,000, $20,000 a month, but an extra $500 a month. I mean, I look at Troy and man, that almost brought tears to my eyes, but it didn't. Okay, just so you know, it didn't. But it almost did. But when he put his post up there that he's made 5 figures now in this company. First time ever in network marketing for him, ever. And yet with this company, he's done it. And he's on his way to make 6 figures. There's no doubt in my mind. But why is it? Because Troy understands a very, very simple concept. You take massive action. You take massive action. That's the easy button. Doesn't mean it's easy, but that's the easy button. It's not rocket science. You know, I see a bunch of you doing lives now, and I am so proud of that. You know, Bobby, you did an amazing live today. Cheryl, your live yesterday was phenomenal. I see you guys get out. Ksenia's always doing lives. I mean, it's amazing. Now we just need to kick it up a notch. Now we just need to start kicking it up. We've got 5 days left. How much are you willing to do? How much are you willing to sacrifice the next 5 days to get the momentum you need? Because I'm going to tell you, 1 July, I am going to be doing the biggest push in my 40-year network marketing history. I'm going to push the next 3 months harder than I've ever pushed in a business in my life. I will get way past 100K by convention. And that means I need all of you to get to 5, 10, and 25K. Now here's where I could, do the Braveheart and paint blue and stuff all over my face and ride my horse. And, who's with me? Are you going to be here? We're going to get him. But I'm German, so, and I don't want to do a Hitler thing, so we're not going to do it. So, but that's what it's all about. We all work together as a team. Who really wants to pay the price? I think you guys are all here every night because you want to pay the price. No doubt in my mind, because you want to pay the price, right? You're at an age where, I'm sure you're probably the youngest one here. I wish I had been introduced to this business and program when I was your age. In fact, any of your ages. So, I will tell you, and I can tell you, I wish I could show you the pills I have to take. And when I went to one of my neighbors, my close friends down the street, had open heart surgery today. And the poor guy, he's a diabetic. They had to cut 2 of his toes off before they could do the open heart surgery. He's got all kinds of physical problems. And he's a young man. He may be 48, 49 years old. And I could tell you all the stories, right? You guys know my health issues, which I don't consider anything anymore. But I had every excuse in the world. I could have used them. Like I said before, people were telling me, Ron, man, I saw a picture the other day, and my scar starts right up here. I've got a scar on my neck where they had to go into my neck and do surgery. I've got scars on my left shoulder because they went in and this is all metal. This is all metal. I've got 18 gauge wire all down my breastbone to hold my chest together. I've got metal in my knees. I've got to carry a card when I go through the airport to let them know that I'm going to set off alarms. It's an official card from the AMA and all that stuff that I have to bring with me that tells them I've got metal all throughout my body. Try explaining that to your grandson when he says, well, but Dad, when you go to heaven, what are they going to do with all that metal? Oh, I don't know. They're going to build a little robot, I guess. But so here's what we need to know. Let the things that have happened to us in our lives, let the things that we have going on in our lives, let those be the fuel to take us to the next level. I talked about this before, and I want everybody to know that the Bionic Man, yeah. I feel like that some days. The only problem is that, the metal they put in there, they didn't add any electronics to it to make me move faster or anything like that. But our past is our past, right? Our past is great it has its pluses and its minuses. The pluses are our past is there to help us learn, right? There are things that we've all gone through in our past. Some of them, and I've just learned recently, some of our pasts are much, much worse and much more devastating than others. But we all have our past, right? And I know for me, things that I went through in the military and working for military intelligence all my life, there's some stories I could tell you that probably make you throw up. But the reality is I learned. I became a much stronger person. I learned from those. What we don't want is, if at all possible, we don't want our past to pull us in a direction that doesn't allow us to go forward. Our present is the same thing. So we have our past that wants to continually pull us back. Our present wants to stop us in our tracks, right? Because my present right now is, oh, you've had open heart surgery and that failed, and then you had to have stents, and so we're going to stop you right here. You're going to hit this wall and you're not going to do anything. So your present has a tendency to stop you because it gives you right now, excuses of why you don't have to, or good reasons. They can even be, a lot of times they're great reasons why, you may not want to do anything. But there's a thing that we call the future. And the future, the purpose of the future, and I consider your vision the future, is that thing that pulls you. It pulls you through the barrier of the past. It pulls you and keeps you from getting pulled back in the present. I mean, it keeps you from getting pulled back into the past and keeps you pulled and moving forward. So if you have this powerful vision of your future, where you're going to be, Troy he sees 100K, he sees 25K just buzzing right through it. You guys see 5K and 10K just plowing right through it. And that future and that vision that you have is what's pulling you past all those barriers that you go through. Now, I'm not going to tell you it's going to be easy, because it's not. It's not going to be easy, but it's not always going to be hard. You're going to have some very awesome successes. When you sit down and you're talking, the day that I reach out to Laura and I tell Laura, man, I just looked at your numbers. You're a 5K affiliate. And to look at her face and her bouncing off the walls. And Cheryl, man, you've been close for a while. When you hit 5K affiliate, Bobby, man, someone that's dedicated and the passion that you have, you're going to hit 5K affiliate. It's going to be amazing. Jason, Heather, Ksenia, Lynn, you guys are going to do this too. You're all going to do it. But it starts in the beginning, and it starts with up here. You don't know how powerful your mind is. Your mind, if you haven't been watching Jay Shetty, I encourage you to watch some of his videos. The guy, he's a former monk. He's got some really great words of wisdom. But for me, I have a book that I read every day that is always helping me. Some of you may have heard of it. It's called the Bible. Talk about motivation. Talk about, direction in my life. And I couldn't ask for any better. Whatever it is for you, you need that to pull you so you can take advantage of that magic pill I just gave you. Because taking massive action, and I mean massive, I don't mean mini action, I mean massive action, where and I don't care what time it is. I know a lot of you are working and doing other things, but if you sit down and say, okay, you know what? Every night this week, every night between now and Sunday at midnight, which is the end of the month, right? From today on, I'm going to set aside an hour, 45 minutes, whatever it is for you that you can set aside. If you've got more time, 2 hours. And I'm going to close off the doors. I'm going to put the blinders on, and I am going to do nothing in that time. I'm not going to surf Facebook and watch cat videos. I'm not going to, why do they always make fun of cat? I'm not a cat fan, but still, they are pretty funny. Some of them are pretty funny. But I'm going to just do profit-producing activities. I'm going to be connecting. I'm going to be following up. I'm going to be reaching out to as many people as I can. I'm going to be saying as little as I can to as many as I can. I'm going to shoot for 1,000 people, 100 people, 50 people, whatever it is. I'm just going to sit down, put my pedal to the metal for that time frame, and I'm going to pay the price. Some of you may have more time. But within that time frame, within that box that you have set aside, that needs to be massive action for the time and then down, right? It'll change your business, I'm telling you. Get rid of all the distractions. Get rid of everything from the outside. If you can set aside two times during the day, do it twice. But you need to get yourself in a place where you can concentrate and focus and don't let anything else. And I'm telling you right now, there are going to be things like, oh, wait, so-and-so messaged me. Let me answer that real quick. It'll only take me a couple of seconds. 10 minutes later, I'm almost done. I can almost get back to my profit-producing activity. But I really needed to talk to this person. I go through this all day long, where I'll be doing something that I know I've got to do, because I'm the king of procrastination. And I know if I don't do it, I won't get it done. So I've got to do it. And I'll get a call from somebody, or I'll get a message from somebody, hey, can you call me? And immediately I pick up my phone, and I text and say, Give me an hour. I'm in the middle of getting some work done I need to get done or whatever I might be doing, right? And I never get somebody saying, well, if you can't call me now, I'm done. They always say, hey, awesome. I'll wait for your call. Who do we lose? Bobby. So you need to set that time. It needs to be focused, and you need to make sure that now you can do other things within the day. Obviously, I mean, we talked about this last night on a training I was on with Tara Scary's group. Your daily method of operation, when you wake up in the morning, you should have a set of things that you do on a regular basis consistently. Get up. For me, I get up, I have my devotions, I have my time, I look and see, because I'm on the West Coast, people on the team are all up and running already. So I sit down and I figure out, what messages I've got to answer. I say good morning to everybody. I start my day. And then I've always got, some people say they spend 30 minutes listening to motivational, however you want to do it. For me, I have it on my other monitor running all day long. I'll have Les Brown up there, telling me you've got to be hungry and going through all of that. But I've always got something being fed into my head that's good, motivational, personal development and so forth. But then I set a time aside during the day and I say, okay, now all I'm going to do is build my business. I'm going to do profit producing activities. And I just go hog wild. And that's what you have to do. Doesn't matter if it's easy, doesn't matter if it's hard. You got to, like Jenna says, you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. You just got to do it. You just got to make that decision that I, more than anything in the world, I'm hungry and I want to pay the price. I want to pay the price for the other side of it. Because I'm going to tell you that whether it's $1,000 a month or, $8,000 or $9,000, $10,000 a month, it will change your life. Because what comes with that is the fact that you are helping other people, which is phenomenal, and that you've accomplished it. When you can sit back and say, wow, look what I've done. Because I followed the path, I took massive action, I didn't quit, I made a commitment to pay the price despite and until, and man, is it worth it. It may have taken me longer than Johnny or Janie or Sally or Josh, but wow, now that I'm here, I look back and think, well, that wasn't that bad at all. How many of you ever done that, right? You've gone through something thinking it was the worst thing you've ever done in your life. You get on the other side of it, It's like they say, how do you walk through hell? Just keep walking, right? Keep walking. And you get on the other side and you look back and you go, wow, that wasn't half as bad as I thought. When I had my open heart surgery, they gave me all these things. Scariest thing that you could give, and I wasn't really scared as much as, they painted a really bad picture. They painted this picture that you're going to wake up and you're going to have this big tube down your throat and you're not going to be able to, swallow, and it's going to be, you're going to wake up out of a dead sleep and not know what's going on. And a lot of people freak out and everything and don't do all that. And we can't take it out until we know it's been 30 minutes and you're breathing right and all these other things. And man, it was like, oh man, I went into the surgery thinking, wow, what's this going to be like when I wake up? Not that, they didn't tell me anything about, you're going to have, stainless steel wire in your chest and a catheter and all these tubes coming out of your stomach and tubes coming out of your shoulder and everything else. All they talked about was one in your mouth. I woke up and within 10 minutes, they're saying, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, you can't talk. I'm just, yeah, I'm okay. Well, you're not coughing, you're not struggling or anything. It's like, no, just take this thing out of here. What's going on? And so I didn't have to wait till 30 minutes. 10 minutes after I woke up, they said, okay, we're going to count to 3, and then we want you to cough really hard, and you're going to feel a snap. And that was kind of scary, because usually when something snaps, that means that this part's going here and something else is being left behind. That's all I could think of. Well, what are you going to leave in there? What's snapping? But it's just the feeling that happens. And they pulled it out of my throat, and I thought, okay, this is the thing that you guys are telling me that was so bad. Now that you've done it, I mean, this is a piece of cake. Then they told me I had to walk every day. So I was up 3 and 4 times a day, and I got out of the hospital 3.5 days after I had my surgery. Do I want to ever do that again? No, no, no. But the reality, now that I've gone through it, I look back at it, I don't remember half of it, and it just wasn't that hard. This business is the same way. Put in the time, put in the effort, take the massive action, and at the end of the day, when you get to the other side, no matter what's going on, man, you are going to be so excited. You're going to sit back and go, wow, I just made $2,000 this month. Man, I can pay off some bills. I can, we can go out and have a dinner. We can do all kinds of cool things now. And the next month, it's like, wow, no, I make $2,500. Man, my team's growing. You're going to find yourself having a hard time not working harder because it becomes addiction. You want to work more. I get up at 3:30 in the morning, and, there are nights that I don't go to bed till, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. That's a long day. Don't let it scare you. Embrace it. Look at what's going to happen on the other end of it. So if you want the magic button, the magic sauce, I wish I could tell you. I don't want you going away and going, wow, yeah, what he said, boy, I've got to learn this, I got to learn that. Oh, man, look at all these things I got to learn. You don't got to learn squat. And I know that's not good English, but you don't. You just got to take massive action and get in front of as many people and don't stop. Because someone has an interest, great. Get them in front of the presentation, get them either pre-enrolled, get them to your site, and then move on. They go into the follow-up bucket. You go back to them later. But you just keep moving because you got that deck of cards, man. You are trying. Man, I'm so excited. I'm going to get an ace today. I'm going to get an ace. I am turning that cards over. I am going as fast as I can. Man, I'm at 100, boy. Oh, boom. An ace. Wow. I just got my first hemp exec. That's $200. You guys realize that's $200. What can you do with $200? That's a lot of groceries. I mean, it's not a lot these days, but it's a lot of groceries, right? Man, I'm going to turn over some more cards. Boom, I'm going to turn over faster. Oh, wow, another ace. Happened a lot faster this time. Another $200. I'm going to turn over those cards, man. I got to get that next ace. But that's not what people do. Okay, yeah. Oh, you might be interested? Oh, okay, hold on. Cards down. What do you think? What question can I answer? Oh, you've got 72,000 questions? No problem. I got 6 weeks to answer them for you. I'm telling you the story because that's what I used to do. Someone would say, I'd be talking to Lynn, and Lynn would say, well, Ron, what about the way they process the CBD oil? Well, Lynn, let me tell you. They use the Flogamacher and then the Humpty Lupter, and they put it all together, and then they extract the Sloopy Loppy, and when they get all of that together, they put it in this little bottle, and man, you're not going to believe this, but at the end it comes out and it looks like this. And there's CO2 things in here, and there's like no mold, and and there's a seal. We get a little seal. We get all these. Half hour later, 45 minute, hour or two later, they're going, yeah. And we were number one, and we're the fastest growing company. And those are the days when I didn't have any success. I didn't know any better because I was excited. I was passionate. But, someone will tell you that, ignorance on fire is better than, knowledge on ice. And I believe that's true because knowledge on ice means people aren't doing anything. But ignorance on fire can sometimes be a bad thing too because you're so excited. You want to just throw up on everybody. And you instead of taking 30 seconds to, a couple of minutes talking to somebody and saying, man, get used to the fact, man, Lynn, I love your questions. Those are awesome questions. Let me give you a website you can go and you can watch these videos. It'll tell you much better than me. I'm new at this, much better than me. Well, but Rana, but I need, I don't really have a lot of time. Could you give me the Cliff Notes? Man, I'd really love to give you the Cliff Notes, but I don't have a lot of time either. So let me give you this website. Go there, put your name and your email in there, check it out at your leisure. Just go and watch the videos from the owner. They'll tell you all about it. There's links there for the company, all of that stuff, okay? And let me know when you can, and I'll follow up with you in a couple of days. Does that work for you? Is that fair enough? Yeah, okay. Okay, next. Oh, okay. Hey, Cheryl, how you doing? See, here's your website. Okay, great, Cheryl. Ksenia, hey man, how you doing? Hey, you're oh yeah, boom. You got a couple of questions? Awesome, man. I got a place you can go and answer all your questions. Just go to this website, put in your name, email, and phone number, and check it out, and then let's talk in a couple of days. Boom, 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 boom. Oh wait, an ace. Oh wait, an ace. So you've got to get to that point where massive action means massive action. It doesn't mean I'm going to do a little bit. Oh, wait, this person's interested. And then I stop dead in the water and spend all of my time on that one person because I'm so desperate to get that one person, get my first person. I got to get that first in. In the meantime, somebody else is prospecting all those people that you could be, and you're missing out. Did you guys hear that? In the meantime, somebody else is prospecting the people that you should have been talking to and probably would have joined with you. But you were concentrating on one person that 90% of the time isn't going to join anyways. If I've got to convince you, if I've got to spend a lot of my time convincing you to come on board and you don't see it, why would you think that that person is going to do anything after you finally convince them? They're not going to. Now, who do you want? Do you want someone that you have to convince? Or would you rather have someone like me? Aaron showed me the opportunity, and an hour later I signed up. Didn't talk to me, didn't do anything. He just sent me a link. Said, hey, Ron, I need you to check this out. It's a webinar I'm doing with Robert Hollis, and I knew Robert Hollis. I said, oh, okay, what do you got going? Saw it, checked it out, did my homework, signed up less than an hour later, did not have one pre-enrollee underneath me. Nobody had signed up, so I didn't have any fall through with people signing up underneath me or anything like that. Didn't have anything, just signed up, and the rest is history. He'd talked to 20 people after he talked to me. He wasn't waiting around to see if I was going to do anything. He got me in front of their presentation and then moved on, right? That's the key. Say as little as you can to as many as you can, as quickly as you can. Because guess what? 6 months, maybe 8 months before Aaron talked to me, another friend of mine talked to me. But the timing wasn't right, and I didn't know what he was talking about. I was just going, really had just had my open heart surgery and everything, and he was trying to explain to me stuff about CBD oil, and I'm like, what, CBD oil? You guys are smoking pot? Cool. I didn't know that I was getting healthy in the 60s. I thought I was just eating chips. But guess what that guy never did? Never followed up with me after that. Never reached out to me again at all. And then 8 months later, Aaron Parker presents to me. Now the timing's right. Now things are different. If that same individual that had reached out to me in the beginning had reached out to me in May of 2018, I'd have signed up with him. And he'd have a 50K affiliate underneath him. But I didn't, because he didn't. And then all of a sudden, I was sending out massive amounts of messages, and his was one of them. I sent one to him. And he came back and said, what do you think I was telling you about 8 months ago? You've signed up? And I said, yeah. He said, well, what are you? And at that point, I was a 10K affiliate already. He says, I signed up, and I made 10K affiliate this month. He's like, I am so mad at you. And he's not. We still talk and everything. But guess what? Is he kicking himself right now? Yeah. Probably. Because he'd be a 100K affiliate at this point. He's a 50K just like I am. But he didn't understand the concept of massive action, following up, making yourself, and it takes the time. You've got to make a list, and you've got to make sure that and some of you just do it on paper, right? Okay, I contacted this person. Here are the people that I contacted today. Here are the people in that list. You know, you put a red mark, a gold star. You know, get those little things we did for our kids, right? You put little gold stars. They did them in school. You put something by that person. So I just talked to Bobby, and Bobby sounded like she's interested. I put a check mark by Bobby and maybe a number. That means she's someone that's interested. 3 days from now, I'm gonna follow up with her. 3 days from now, I send a message out to Bobby and I say, hey, Bobby, how's it going? You know, I look at her profile first, right? Hey, I see you just watched the cat video. No. Hey, I see, you know, I saw your live about positive. Man, that is awesome. You should really be a part of our positive community. You would love it. Are you still interested in taking a look at what we've got? I'd love to have you on board. And then wait and see what she says. Put a star by the next person. Okay. Some of these people, I put an X by. They came back and said, if you ever talk to me again, I'm going to, you know, come and bomb your house. Okay, X, unfriend, move along, right? But it's like, you sit down, boom. And, okay, I'm going to work. Okay, contact that person, and I don't do anything at all. I focus, I take that time, I kick everybody out of my office, I close my door, you know, I make sure that I've got everything, all distractions away, and all I'm going to do is profit-producing activities. I'm not going to watch videos on personal growth. I'm not going to do anything other than reach out to people, follow up with people I need to follow up with for that hour. As many as I can do. And the next day, I'm going to do as many as I can do plus more. And the next day, I'm going to do as many as I can do plus more. And the next day, I'm going to do as many as I did the day before plus more. And I'm going to be so excited about it. I'm going to be so pumped up. I'm going to do jumping jacks before I get started because motion equals emotion. Okay? So you get yourself all pumped up and going. You get excited. People look at you when you're doing your lives or when you're talking to them. I do Zooms like this with people all the time. You're like, man, how do you stay so excited and everything? Aren't you like 90 years old? I'm like, because I'm excited. I'm passionate. We're changing lives. Massive, massive action. Say as little as you can to as many as you can, as fast as you can. I guarantee you, if you really focus on doing this, if you follow in Robert Hollis, man, this is what he told me to do. I asked him, what do I do, Robert? I want to be successful. He said, say as little as you can to as many as you can. Got it. What do I say? Doesn't matter. Just go say it. Just go get out there. Well, I need a script. No, you don't. Just go talk to people. Yeah, but I need to know what to say when they say they want to. No, you don't. You give them a gift. You talk to them. You get them in front of the presentation. Boom, boom, boom. Then you go to the next one. So that's what I did. I didn't worry about the scripts and everything. I had the little thing rolled up and I said, okay, I'll try this and copy and paste it and just send it out to as many people as I can, And then I modified a little bit when I talk to somebody. Oh, I know this person, so I paste it in. Okay, I'm not going to say all that. I'll say this and this and this because I know them, or I looked at their profile and I said, oh, okay, this doesn't make sense. Why would I ask them, if how they're doing, when they just had a death in the family or whatever, right? It's not rocket science. How would you go out and meet people in real life? That's what we always mistake and try to reinvent this. If I'm out driving around or if I'm at a store somewhere and I run into somebody, what do? Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, there's Jason. Okay, let me get my script out. Hey, Jason. How you doing? Hope everything is going okay with you. Oops, page 2. How's your family? What? Is that what you do? Right? And everybody's laughing. Of course not. When I'm out running around, I don't, pull out of my pocket. Okay, I'm gonna go talk to Laura now. Okay, there she is. She's down in aisle 3 getting some, fresh vegetables. Okay, let's say it's fresh vegetables. If she's getting fresh vegetables, say this. Hi, Laura. How are your vegetables? Okay. I get this all the time. People asking me and reaching out to me going, what's the script? Here's the script. Hey, Laura, how you doing, man? What's going on? How's Bill? Man, I saw that cut he had on his leg, man. That is crazy. Man, I hope he's certainly in our prayers. Let me know if you guys need anything. You know, what are you doing these days? Oh wait, that's not in my script. Ooh, I'm lost. I'm bummed out. You know, I didn't use the script. That's your secret sauce. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to spend the next 5 days. I want you to set a time aside. 30 minutes minimum. If you can do an hour, set an hour aside. Okay. If you want to message me with exactly, you know, what time of day that's going to be, you can do that. As long as you just do it. You don't need to be accountable to me for it, although accountability is good. But I want you to have that hour, preferably an hour. And I don't want you doing any personal growth, reading, watching videos, or anything like that. All I want you to do is reach out to as many people as you can. And if tomorrow you set that time aside, when you do this tomorrow and you reach out to 25 people, the next day I want you to up that by like 10%. So you reach out to 28 people and you do that every day. Whatever you did the day before, I want you to do more the next day. That's what's called massive action. Doing the same thing every day is just doing the same thing every day. If you don't get better at what you're doing every day, then, you know, you're missing the point. So massive, massive action between now and the end of the month. It's 5 days almost, because today's not over. Don't worry about scripts. Just go out and talk to people. Find out who, don't use the word interested. Don't ask anybody if they're interested, because people just aren't interested in anything these days. But they hate to be closed-minded. So ask them if they're open. Hey, Lynn, you know, I hope things are going okay with you. I haven't had a chance to look at your profile lately to see what's going on, but I'm in the middle of a blitz, and I just wanted to know if you might be open at looking at something that I'm doing right now that is just going crazy. Or however you might say that. For me, people know me, that's what I'm going to say. Man, would you be open to looking at something that's just awesomely crazy? CBD oil. I never, you know, when it was presented to me, I never thought about looking at it. And now I'm so glad I did. But if you're not open, that's okay. Just thought I'd ask to see if you're open. If they come back and say, yeah, you know, I'm okay right now and I'm not open, awesome. Okay. You know what you know what you can do from there? Hey, you know what? Let me ask you a quick question before we stop this conversation. Do you know of anybody that might be open? Because guess what? Referrals are huge. The other thing you can do is you can always come at people from a third party kind of approach. So I can come and I could be talking to Cheryl and say, hey, Cheryl, I know this probably isn't for you, but do you know anybody that might be interested in, might be open to making an extra $500 to $1,000 a month? Well, typically what's Cheryl going to say? Yeah, me. But I wasn't offering it to her. I was trying to find out if she knew anybody. So it takes all the pressure out, right? I'm not approaching Cheryl. I'm asking Cheryl, she might know anybody that might be open to making an extra $500 to $1,000 a month. And I almost guarantee you 90% of the time they're going to come back and say, yeah, I am. What is it? Oh, really? You're open to making some extra money? Well, that's awesome. If I gave you a website where you could go and register and take a free tour and see about what we're doing, is that something you might be willing to do? Well, yeah, sure. If I can make some extra money, awesome. Well, I'm going to give you this website, and then let's talk tomorrow. Boom. How long did that take? 30 seconds, maybe? Then I go to the next person. Hey, Jason, man, do you know anybody that might be open to making an extra $500 to $1,000 a month? Well, yeah, me. Awesome, man. I didn't think you would. I thought you were doing well. Great. Now that you're open, would you have some time to look at a couple of videos and some information on what we're doing? Great. I'm going to give you a website. I want you to go there, put your name, address, your email address, and phone number in there. Then I want you to take the tour, check it all out. In fact, you know what I'm going to do, Jason, for you? I'm going to send you a video with my mentor. He's an 8-figure earner. He's created 55 millionaires, and he's the number 13 top earner in the world in network marketing. I'm going to send you a video where he's going to take you on a personal tour, guided tour of our company, our system, and everything else. How's that sound? Okay, great. I will talk to you tomorrow. Sounds good. Let's go. Boom. That's 2. I've got a minute's gone. A minute's gone by now. And you're going to reach out to a bunch of people, and they're not going to answer to you. They're not going to answer you. It's okay. I just signed up a young lady that is working with one of the millionaire earners of It Works. It's a network marketing company. I think it went under. I'm not sure, but she's not in it anymore, and she's looking for something. And she happens to know this young lady that I just brought on board. And I reached out to this young lady that just signed up 6 months, 8 months ago maybe. And I sent her out a message on Messenger and saying, hey, you know, I hope this finds you awesome. I don't have time to, you know, find out what's going on right now because I am on a massive 90-day blitz, and I just want to see if you might be open to looking at something that I'm doing right now that is cutting edge with a system that is virtually building my business for me on autopilot. Never answered. Known her for years, never answered. 2 weeks ago, I get a message from her, and I looked, and my message was still there from 6-7 months ago. The next message was her saying, I want to know. Signed up as a HempWorks executive, and now this is her plan A. You are planting seeds as fast as you can plant them. Can you imagine if you were on a farm? I grew up on a farm. When we were planting seeds, especially for our corn, right, Bobby? You don't go out there and plant one seed, come back the next day, plant the next seed, right? You've got a machine that goes out there. You hook it up to the tractor, and you go and plow all the rows. Then you take that thing out there, and it plants seeds as fast as it can plant and covers them up as it goes, right? Well, that's what you want to be. You want to be one of those machines. And after you've planted all those seeds, you don't know when they're going to pop out of the ground. But boy, when they do and you get to harvest them, man, that's the fun time. Has this helped you guys? I know we've been a little bit long today. Massive, massive action. Please trust me on this. That's what you need to do. Oh, what a beautiful boy. That's what you need to do. Dog kisses, right? We all love dog kisses, especially puppies. Right? What is it with puppy breath? I don't know what it is. We took our puppy to Petco the other day, and people were going, "Oh, he's got puppy breath." Like, I know. What's up with that? All right. I'm not gonna keep you here any longer. I know. Does anybody have a quick question that they just Jason, go ahead.
You mind if I ask one, Ron?
Yeah.
So, and that's you just answered a lot of questions that I had.
Okay. I just answered all your questions. Oh, you're muted, Jason.
Let's say in that scenario, I'm signing up my first person, and so I'm kind of putting them in front of Carlos. You know, thank goodness I have Carlos to do that. What, you know, if I said a monetary amount, you know, what would a monetary amount do for you a month? What do you think might be something reasonable if I was, you know, if Carlos was going to help me with that? Like using him as an example of a leader.
Are you asking what monetary amount a month you could make?
If I was, like, say I reached out to you, like you said you were doing, like with your veterans groups or something.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, Ron, how you doing? You talk to me, I'll listen. You say the same thing back to me. You listen to me, and then, you know, I'm saying something positive. And then what if I said, like, what do you think of the economy, Ron? And you said, that's not going that great for me, you know, and you said a few specific things that were going bad in your life. what if I said, what would X amount of dollars a month do for you? So if I was going to use like Carlos as an example of somebody that had earned in our company, like what might be a good scenario?
I wouldn't ask somebody, unless I was approaching you like I did in the beginning. If I was approaching you like I did in the beginning, I might say, if we had been talking, I would just say, you know, let me ask you, Jason, would you be open to the possibility of earning an extra $500 to $1,000 a month? I just always use that amount.
Yeah, as soon as you said that amount, I was like, that's pretty good. That works for me.
Yeah.
And then
But
everything.
if we were talking, if we were communicating, I was asking questions, then a better approach would be if we got talking and you were telling me that, yeah, you know, we're struggling right now and everything. Then my question would, I want you to tell me the number. So then the question would be, well, let me ask you, Jason, what amount of money would you need to earn each month extra to change your life right now? And then let's say you said, let me answer this real quick. It's Lily. We're trying to set up our meeting. So I would reach out and at that point in our conversation, I would ask you, you know, let me ask you, Jason, what amount of money each month would you need extra to change your life right now? And then if you came back and said, wow, you know, an extra $500 would be amazing. Then my next question would be, so after, you know, our conversation here, let me ask you, would you be open if I could show you how you could make an extra $500, maybe $1,000 a month? But then you've picked a number, which becomes more powerful. Because if you said, well, all I need is about $250. Well, great. Would you be open if I could show you a way where you could earn that extra $250 a month working out of your home? Well, yeah, that'd be awesome. Okay. Is that it? Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Anybody else? Quick question.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. I'm going to put this up on YouTube once it gets processed. Probably won't be till morning because everybody is pushing hard this evening. Looks like Lily's got her team together and wants to meet with me here in 45 minutes. So we're gonna do it. Which Ksenia, she probably reached out to you and said, you're probably going, oh no, not Ron again. Oh, I'm so tired of. Can we get a younger guy? All right, you guys. God bless you. I love you. Thank you so much. Night, everybody.